Hey everyone, in this video we are going to talk about the properties of clay, all of its types, and all of the cool things we can do with it.
Okay, so you may be asking yourself, what even is ceramics? Or how is clay turned into solid plates and bowls? These questions can all be answered by taking a deeper look into the methods scientists and artists have used for thousands of years to create what we know today as ceramics. And did you know that scientists have found man-made ceramics dating back over 30,000 years?
I actually did not. That's really interesting. So let's just get into it. I suppose we should first talk about clay's properties, but actually, let's talk about what properties are. So a property is part of how something works. And no, we're not talking about houses or land. In science, when we say property, we're talking about what something is like. For example, we know that clay is mushy, wet, and really easy to mold. And when it's fired or put through heat, we know it turns incredibly hard. Crazy, right?
Also, it's important to mention that clay can actually take a bunch of forms, so we should discuss them. The four main types of clay are earthenware, stoneware, ball clay, and porcelain. All these types of clay are really just broken down rock. You know how sand's just made up of really small rocks? It's the same with clay, but on an even smaller scale. Because of this, clay sticks together and can be played with, especially when water is brought into the mix.
And once you heat it up, the water evaporates or boils off, to leave us with just those super small bits stuck together. This is the art and science of ceramics. As you mold something, you simply heat it up to make it hard and permanent, because all of the water just kind of drips into the air.
That's really interesting, Will. Now let's get into the fun part, textures and colors. Before clay is hardened under extreme heat, it is soft and squishy, but still firm enough to mark. This means ceramicists can carve texture into the clay and create some really cool designs. Anything from simple lines or dots or drawings of animals or plants can be marked into the clay. Also, ceramic pieces don't have to be a boring brown and white colors because we have something called glaze. It's a type of paint that can be used specifically on clay. Anything from deep blues to bright reds can be added to your clay.
So you can do anything with it? Make anything? Even anything you could draw or just want to make, you can make anything?
Yes, yes, and yes. You can make your creation come to life by creating it in 3D, meaning 3 dimensions. This means your object can be measured in 3 ways: its height, its length, and its width. Pretty complex. Alright, Will, can you explain how evaporation works real quick? I'm still a bit confused.
Of course, man. Evaporation is really just a science-y way of saying the sun heats up the water inside the clay. Because clay is really only those teeny tiny rocks coupled with water, heating it up will make the water jump around and begin to float around with the air. Actually, that's what it almost becomes. Because it has so much energy from the heat from the sun, it just becomes gas, which is super light, and like that cloud song we know, it evaporates.
Oh yeah, and another really important point. Ceramics is used for more than just arts and crafts.
What do you mean? I thought bowls were cool and important.
They definitely are, but clay can be used to solve some pretty complex problems. Think of trash at the dump. Would you really want all that garbage to get into the ground in bodies of water like Beaver Pond here in Franklin? Absolutely not. We prevent this from happening by lining the bottoms of landfills with clay. Because clay sticks together, the trash stays in one place and doesn't get into ponds and lakes when it rains. There are many other useful ways people use clay to solve problems. If you want, you can research some of these on your own.
That's great. Glad we know a thing or two about clay now. I think it's pretty useful.
It absolutely is. Thanks for watching, guys.